Okay, the health, the physical education teacher position. Is that one of the questions we had? We have a full-time half phys ed, half health.
There's a schedule coming out, what the schedule shows is the schedule for 3 PE positions, and it explains how it's set up, and I'll wait till everybody gets one. If there's not enough, we might have to. Can you check? Okay, what happened, Sean Kuhn, as everybody remembers, got the AD position. In getting the AD position, that means he gets 2 free periods a day. That's contractual, I have no choice or say in that. There was no other person opposed to him in running for the AD, and obviously I have support because he's done well, so there's no reason to deny the AD position. So if you look down his schedule, he teaches 5 classes. They have to be 5 PE classes in order for him to get seniority. So he has his 5 PE, he has his 2 AD, and then he has a plan and a lunch. So contractually, his schedule is full.
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
When did giving the athletic director 2 periods a day become contractual? It's not in my existing contract that I have at home.
It's been that way before I ever came to the school. That's not new.
But it's not in the contract.
I don't know, I know we discussed it during negotiations, you're on that committee.
Right. I was on the committee I saw an old contract that expired in 2012. It's not in my contract.
I can look at the contract, I know that we discussed it, and the new contract still hasn't been signed, but that's been going on for, how many years have you been in this school? Has it always been?
I don't think it's always been that way, but it's,
I understand.
but you wonder why it's not.
Right. There's a difference between something in the contract and something being done just for the government done about it. I don't see it in the contract. I could miss it.
Okay, I'll look for it just to get back to it. I know it's a contractual issue. They brought it up during negotiations. We agreed again during negotiations to give the person 2 periods and a pay increase for negotiations. So that's the first person's schedule. Brewer, in doing her schedule, and that's why there's still some play here, currently has 5.5 teaching periods. She can teach up to 6. With special area people, we can actually give them more, but her plan periods are not marked on there yet, nor are any duty periods. Duties include in-school suspension room, study halls, those types of things. The third person, and this is where some of the hitch falls into place, with the first person getting the AD, that means that person can no longer teach health. Also is not certified to teach health, so we had 2 people teaching health, 1 period each, which you can do contractually through New York State without them being certified. So in looking for, and we did talk about in our hiring, depending who got AD, that we would have to hire a health teacher for a certain amount of the day. So the third person has both of the health periods on their schedule, which is health middle school 2 times throughout the year, and then high school 2 times throughout the year. And that person already has 6 periods in their schedule. The hitch could be if hiring the new person, if they're not health certified, Lori's going to have to take a health class and teach 1 of the health periods. So there is still room for some possible play. If you look down at the bottom of the schedule, the elementary requires 16 PE periods. And that's because each elementary class gets 1 per class. And then Monty Curtis's class gets a special schedule, as well as Brady Bocek, which totals 16. The middle school and high school is down to 13 classes, which is going to give bigger numbers from 15 last year. The health takes 2 periods, so there's 4 there, and the total of that is 33 periods. So if you count through all the HSs and Es in health, there's 33 periods divided up amongst 3 people. So in order not to have had to hire a 3rd person, in-house could not have been the AD.
If Mr. Coombs wasn't,
We just say
If the AD didn't have those 2 periods, did you just say we didn't need a third?
We would still need to, we would have to have a third PE teacher. We would have to hire a health coach.
Who's been teaching health the last couple of years?
Mr. Montgomery taught it while he was here. And then before him, that we said,
For the last year after Mr. Montgomery left?
Kuhn and Hagan both taught 1 period, and they could do that even though neither were certified. You can teach 1 period out of your academic area. So, the reason that the ad is advertised, and I had the board to let you know that I was putting ads in for which positions, health and PE, is because we don't currently have a certified health teacher on staff.
So when all this gets filled in, all these blanks get filled in, 33 periods for 3 teachers, is that what we're looking at? 3 teachers are covering 33 periods?
33, not periods, but yes, requirements, days of phys ed or health.
Is that considered a full schedule? What do you
Yes.
consider that a full schedule?
Now, they can, the AD cannot go past 5. They have 5 teaching periods. The other teacher could go up to 6 or even 6.5.
Okay.
Contractually, they can go to 7 without duties, which I don't know if we've ever gone that extreme for all PE. But again, there is that space to do that if we need it.
No?
If you, yeah.
I'm sorry, keep going.
If you look at the schedule, and again, that's mandated or made up by the high school guidance department. Next year will be guidance and the principal, but it doesn't allow to hire like an 80% or a 7, which was my hope,
Mhm.
but where things fell, that's what happens.
So the, under Mrs. Brewer and Teacher X, the empty boxes,
Well, eventually, I mean, I didn't put planning periods in,
okay,
which they'll each get 2 boxes of planning, because
Okay.
those are odd days and even days.
okay,
And then they will either get another class, for example, if the person power isn't health certified, one of the full healths will have to be moved over across to the middle slot. Or if they are certified, other duties can go in there.
so you have the Teacher X has 2, or periods, period 1 is covered for health, but you would probably anticipate more than that for health?
Nope,
That would be all
that's
you
what
need?
we need. We need 2 healths that run throughout the year.
Okay,
So you get 2 half-year healths,
okay.
first period, and then the other one's the high school, and we have 4th and 5th. And it's broken so that you can hit text them kids, AM or whatever. That's why that's not across the board.
Did we have elementary health last year?
Almost one.
Now, unfortunately, as much as I would love to have health at the elementary level, it's not a requirement.
At what grade levels is it?
Middle school and high school.
Middle and high
So
school.
sometime before 8th grade, you could put it in 5th grade if you chose, because it has to be before 8th, but high school has to be 9 through 12.
Would it be worth our time to check with surrounding school districts to see if they share any teachers in this field?
To share what?
Health teacher or physical teacher, is that a possibility, or one or both?
It's not the way the schedule is.
Based on the schedule, you think that you've got 3 full prime time?
We do.
With the schedule the way it is? There's no, I mean, there's no halftime people here that you would, Mr. Cohen being the AD position being filled by a PE teacher.
If you look across the schedule and try to slide it in,
Mhm.
knowing the first one is full.
Yeah.
And it still doesn't give you, because it's middle of days, it's, there's some could be slid over, but you can't get somebody to come in the first period, 3rd period, 5th period,
Right.
8th.
When we talked to Chris about it, and their health was full, she does other things.
And this is a funded position, I mean, for the school year. This is, I mean, there's budget for this person, so.
And we never took it out.
Yes, we never took it out, so we're budgeting for it.
I mean, the swapping had absolutely nothing to do with that.
When you talk about teachers can move one out of the category, what happens when one Mr. Coolidge there, as you got to top your paper here, takes a sick day? You get a substitute that can only teach who's certified for health, or can they teach?
Now, your substitute can be anything, as long as it's not long-term stuff. I mean, if he's out here and there, any substitute will fit, just like any academic year. You try to make it the best fit, obviously.
We think we're gonna have a better chance this year. So we need a health certified person than we did last year.
I have no idea.
And the position has been posted?
Yes,
And any,
all 4 positions have been posted.
any responses to the health/PE?
Do you have any idea?
None so far to health PE, but the deadline is until the 17th or 18th of this month.
Okay.
What kind of certification does the athletic director have to have?
They don't have certification,
You don't have one?
because they're overseen by the high school principal.
So we could get anybody to do that?
And it's,
But we can't get
No,
anybody to
it's
do
in
it?
the teacher's contract, so
in
if
their
somebody
contract.
within the teachers union wants it, you can't deny it to them.
If no one wanted to go outside.
No, and that was originally when I knew that the person was going to retire from it, resign from it. I didn't think anybody else was interested.
Because I remember years ago, Peter Member wasn't an employee at that time, he was out back there.
And many districts hire people out, I mean, retired phys ed teachers, retired coaches, retired, you know, and they work X amount of hours.
Interesting.
But again, as long as someone in the union wants it, you can't deny it.
Right.
This position there.
So why in April were we in discussion of cutting staff, we were discussing cutting PE?
Because at that time, I had no idea that that person wanted to be AD. It hadn't come up till after that.
So again, if Mr. Coombs isn't our athletic director, we would have to hire a third week's person?
Would you still be down a half a person?
You'd still be down half a person health. And what that would basically do is pick up, and when you say half a person, you do it without benefits, but that would give them the health, and then a couple PEs so that they're getting good working while they're here.
So the combination of PE health is basically taking the need for two positions and combining them, health and PE, that we're both kind of.
Most districts do it, that go PE and health together, for the most part.
You know the number of students that are in each of these classes?
In PE or health?
Both.
The schedule, yeah, we do have the numbers.
The health in high school would be fairly high probably, because generally all the 10th graders would elect to be in that class. So that would be depending on, say if it's 50 kids, it's 25 kids in a section. But I know in the past, last year, like if you walked into a middle school health class, same thing, you'd be looking at fairly large, 20 to 25 students.
One of the things that we did with the phys ed classes, which was not to the favor of the phys ed department, we took away 9th grade phys ed, 10th grade phys ed, 11th grade, and we made it 9, 12. So where we used to only have, sometimes because of the tech center or whatever, a small number of kids, we don't have that, and they did lose 3 PE slots. So that will obviously make a difference in the number of students in classes. But if you would like to see the numbers, I know that that's done on a roster already.
I'm only asking these questions because we all know our financial path down the road.
Right.
This is gonna be a huge expense for the district. And if we can figure out a way to save money, I think we should do that. If we can't, then we can't.
If he had signed up for AD, I think we could have done it. Saved a half a person anyways. But since he signed up, I think it kind of,
You
switched
switched
our
our
idea.
idea.
because we didn't think I don't think we thought he was going to sign up.
You add everything up, those 2 periods are costing about 80 grand for this district.
Well, half of that.
40 grand.
If you got rid of all sports, you can get rid of the AD and then get rid of halftime visit.
Who knows? We may have that in prison.
We may have to, I mean,
Who knows?
you can get rid of a math teacher or a sports program.
We've already talked about in previous meetings how we're gonna potentially be cutting styles and we're hiring more now. It's just- Like I said, as long as we're doing our homework and there's actually no way around this, then I'm okay with it. But I think we should look out for our taxpayers and save some money here.
I mean, it was considered, but with what they need to have and with the AD placement, there wasn't a lot of choice.
Is it possible if the schedule next year reconfigured that that position that would be considered full-time this year could move to 28.75 next year?
Yes.
So we
That
have,
would be something that we would have to build a schedule around.
Around
Unfortunately, the schedule had to be built
the,
before the end of the school year.
so there is opportunity in the future to
I suppose.
So, but the 2 periods, that's in the contract?
I believe it is, Chris says it's not at all, I have it down to look up.
I mean, it would make a difference, I mean, because it is an extra.
Well, we talked about, I mean, Chris, you were in negotiations, you know that it was discussed there. You
Yeah, we
agree?
discussed it at length.
Right, but you agree that we did discuss it, it was,
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I agree that we discussed it in the negotiations, but my question is, I couldn't find it in our written
okay.
contract.
That would make quite a difference if you.
So I
It's
just-
an extracurricular position, you have to take care of the family. Not the ideal.
So you'll take a look at that, let us know what you find in the contract?
Yep.
Thank you.
There's nobody else I can teach out in the building that has time?
Well, the natural person obviously was thought, it could possibly be a science person, which now we've cut on full science position. And the other possibility was a ag position, which ended up with a full schedule. Because they're the only person currently now teaching technology to the elementary, with our business person now teaching a health, or a history class.
the same person can't pick up both periods, so you have, you know, the schedule is very different. You know, it's just-
We lost one
We lost
instructors this year.
a full science and then a full social studies.
And that's where, like, by using our business person who's now teaching the history course, we lose the technology to the elementary. So the ag teacher is picking up more of the technology to the elementary. And those are, I mean, again, state mandates, the kids have to have computers, have to be literate, be able to type a certain amount of things by certain